Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain of human rights. And among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. It is I, your lovable host, Rod, coming to you live from my bunkerized home studio somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire. Yes, this is the state that has a state motto of live free or die. It is not big government or bust. It is here, folks. It's here. Today is Election Day, November the 6th, Tuesday, in the year of our Lord 2012. This is the day that America goes to the polls and, for better or for worse, decides who their leaders are going to be for the next 2 and 4 years. Look, if you're going to go, well, let me just put your mind at ease right now. If you go by all the pundits and all the polls and all the prognosticators, including the Redskin rule, it is mostly in the favor of Romney. Plain and simple. It's mostly in the favor of Romney. Now, what we're going to do this evening is, of course, I'm going to continue to bring you the great news of the day, as I always do. If you haven't gone out there and voted, in many states, the polls are still open. Some in the Eastern time zone are just closing at 7 p.m., but there are still some that are open until 8 or 9 p.m. So check. If you haven't voted yet, go vote. You can listen to me later. Go vote. Every vote counts. Now, speaking of voting, if you are if you're voting or follow New Hampshire politics at all, then you will know that the first in the nation voting up in Dixville Notch in, I think, what's it called, Harts Junction or something like that. Basically, the Dixville Notch are 10 voters, and Romney didn't win, but neither did Obama. It was a 5-5 tie. But at Harts Junction or Harts whatever, Landing, whatever it is up there, and I don't even know where it is, and I live in the state. These are communities that are just tiny. Literally. 10 people voted in Dixville Notch. I mean, I think it's a town where there's 30 or 40. There's less than, I do believe there's less than 50 households. That's how, you can't get too much smaller than that. And Hart's Location is the name of the other one. I think it was 23-9 Romney over Obama. Yeah, those are big numbers. Big numbers, absolutely, for the for the president, yes, but fortunately for us, Dixville Notch and Hart's location, one, they're not a bellwether of a prognosticator of the election. It's not even a bellwether or a prognosticator of which direction the state of New Hampshire will go. But, so thankfully, at least for me, that's thankfully so. Now, people who are in support of Obama, they're probably wishing that it was a bellwether prognosticator of things to come. But it isn't. And I'm not the superstitious type of person. And there are people that are easily swayed. And when they say, well, yeah, all roads lead that Romney's going to lose and Obama is going to get a second term, and then you point out the Redskin rule to them. Now, most of them the liberals don't even know what the Redskin rule is, and you point it out to them, and you give them links where they can go. And I've done this on social media, and it has freaked every single one of them out. I kid you not. I thought all day today, that's what I was doing. I thought it was funny. Obama's gonna win. Obama's gonna win. Not according to the Redskin rule. What's the Redskin? Some ultra white right wing type of thing predictor, Rod? No. Here's the link to Wikipedia, and it basically states that if the Redskins lose their last home game before a presidential election, that the incumbent party in the White House loses. And that so far in the past 18 presidential elections, if you just look cold hard facts, it's 17 for 18. If you look at the overall facts, it's 18 for 18. And it freaks them out because the Redskins lost last Sunday. Well, I hope that bodes well. I hope that bodes well for those of us on the right. I had a person early today said that he didn't like he didn't like Obama, but he didn't like Romney. I said, we're kind of in the same boat. I'm not happy with any of the choices for national office or even my governor's race that I have to choose from. I mean, here in New Hampshire, it's Maggie Hassan and Ovid LaMontagne, and Ovid is the Republican, and Maggie Hassan is the tax and spend Democrat, big time. I mean, there isn't a tax that literally, there's not been a serious tax that Maggie Hassan has not liked and tried to vote for in this state. So the choice is obvious there. You go for Ovid, who is not a tax and spend kind of guy. And, of course, we have other races, like the Senate races. We've got Bass and, there's Annie Custer. I mean, even the name just rolls off your tongue with disdain. I mean, the woman is just nasty. She's nasty. She's mean. From what I know of her and from what I've seen, she's mean. She's arrogant, and she's just a nasty woman. I don't care if you like, if you like them or not. But that's a big part of it. You got to like who you're voting for. You got to be able to trust them. And I have, last night's show, I did an hour special on Barack Hussein Obama. And I could have gone on for another hour, at least, with all of the things that would prove and show that he does not deserve a second term. Now, I had somebody ask me on my Facebook page today, when I said, I think if the Redskin rule is correct, then Obama is fired. And a person actually asked me, well, if a a politician is not reelected, are they really fired? And at first, I had to stop and think. Well, I had to stop and think before I responded, because at first, my first inclination is, are you kidding me? Yes, they would be fired. That's the word you would use. But then I realized, as I took a breath and took some time, unfortunately, a lot of Americans do not view politicians as their employee. You have to understand, Barack Obama is the president of the United States. We, the people, the citizens of the United States of America, are his employer. We're his boss. Plain and simple. No, we get to determine whether or not he actually sits in that office for 4 years or not. We're his boss. We're paying his salary. We're his boss. Plain and simple. And that goes for any elected, any government employee, actually, but especially any elected official. We, the people, are their employers. We're their boss. We do have a say in whether or not they are hired or they're fired. You know, those that we elect, they're elected, but they're technically hired for the job that they're seeking. And remember, it is a job. A senator is a job. A congressman is a job. President is a job. Governor is a job. And we pay them. You know, some get paid more than others, depending on the level of government and the state and community that you're in. Some are part-time, some are full-time. I know in New Hampshire here, our state legislature is pretty much part-time, and they really get part-time salaries. Some states, they're full-time, and they get full-time salaries. Washingtonians, you know, the national leaders, congressmen and senators and the like down there in Washington, they're full-time, much to our chagrin. But yes, they're full-time, and they get big fat salaries for being full-time and a lot of perks and bonuses. But they're our employees, so yes, they can be fired. Now, in some states, you don't even have to wait until the next election, like such as in Wisconsin. You have the ability to have what they call a recall election, and thus fire the official early. But you can sort of look at it as the president is an employee and he has a 4-year contract. As long as he obeys the law, he's got a 4-year contract. And then he can have, it's like, this is what it's like. It's like a sports star. You know, sports stars, they get contracts for playing. And, you know, the president is like, he's a big league starter in the sport of politics. And he has a 4-year contract. Now, at the end of that 4 years, if the American people, his boss, the owner of the Washington, D.C. political club, sports club, wants to keep him on, they can renew his contract, option it for another 4 years. Or they can just put him on waivers, cut him loose. Say, we don't need you. You know, your time is done. Goodbye. That's what it is. You've got a 4-year contract. Now, in Wisconsin, they also have a 4-year contract with the ability to cut that contract short. And you can fire them early. And this is what happens in business a lot. People will have employment contracts, but there'll be little clauses in there that allows both parties, especially the employer, to get out of that contract early should the relationship not be advantageous any longer.